Hey, good afternoon, everyone. It's Michelle. Thank you for joining me for yoga today. This practice is going to take you through a series of balancing postures, and it's meant to really help you kind of build an awareness of what is happening on the inside. So there's, again, a lot going on in the world, always, but especially at this time. And so I wanted to do sort of an evening practice with you, a little bit of heat, a little bit of cooling, and a whole lot of just building that awareness of what you're feeling on the inside. So we'll begin in a seated position, and for this practice you'll need 2 blocks, a strap and a blanket or pillow. The blanket or pillow is for you to sit on, and it helps your knees to just be in line with your hips. It just is a lot more comfortable. So if you're sitting cross-legged, feel free to take Sukhasana, easy pose here, or you can take half lotus pose, which you just sneak in one foot to the inside of the opposite thigh. So sitting tall here, and actually in half lotus, I like to sit straight on the mat, so it's your choice here. In our seated position tonight, I want you to lift and roll your shoulders back, and do that again. And as you roll the shoulders back, take a full breath in through your nose and a full exhale through the nose. And doing that again, repeating inhale through the nose. On the exhale this time, lower your gaze, perhaps to the front of your mat or just to the floor. And do that again, inhale and exhale, and leaving the hands right on the thighs or legs. Gently close your eyes and begin to develop here your breath, cultivating the breath almost like a gardener would start to cultivate the garden, taking stock of what's happening with the breath, noticing how wide the breath goes in your torso, noticing the length, the height, and the depth of the breath. Begin to separate yourself from the exterior world, and just simply doing that by allowing your mind to rest down into your body. Just coming into an awareness of everything that is happening on the inside, all the feelings, all the sensations. Just begin to explore that a little bit. Relax the shoulders, relax the jaw, just softening the jaw, separating teeth. And today we offer up our practice, allowing ourselves to take time dedicated to understanding a little bit more about who we are and why we do what we do. We may not have the answers or all of the answers, but we do have a few things that we can anchor into, can settle down into. So just for the next moment, I want you to reflect on what you do have. Perhaps it's a loved one that's in your life. Perhaps it's your health, something that you are thankful for, something that brings you back to understanding what life truly is. Draw the palms together at heart center. Gently bow the head, blink your eyes open, and lift your gaze up. And we'll begin our practice today. So seated number 4 stretch. And I'll face the camera, but feel free to put your feet on your mat. So step your feet forward here. And actually I'll turn so you can see what I'm doing. Go ahead and come down to your forearms. And then cross the left ankle over the right knee and lift the chest. So press the elbows down and draw the ribs in. And then move the left knee away from you a little bit. So just sitting here for a moment. And then coming down, lying on the back. Draw the right knee in and catch hold of the front of the right shin, tuck the left tuck the chin down and push the left knee away from you. I'm just feeling a stretch here in the left thigh. And then release the right leg, plus place the foot down and come up to elbows again. So lift the chest here, and then we'll come to a seated position. So pressing up, and then pressing the hands down, lift yourself up and draw your hips closer to the right foot. And if this is a bit much, you can come back to elbows or even lying on your back here, holding here for another breath. And then extending the right leg out. Begin to cradle your shin here. So lift up, sitting tall, and just rocking side to side. Just a nice gentle hip opener. Staying here for another round of breath. And then release the leg, and we'll move to second side. So bend the knees, hands come behind you, cross right foot over left knee, and then move that knee away from you. Lift the chest here, open the chest. And then coming down, lying on your back, draw the left leg in, catch hold of the front of the shin, so you're threading the needle or doing number 4 stretch here on your back. Move the knee away from you. Flex the toes, pull the toes toward the knee, and then release the leg. Walking back up to elbows here for a moment. Lift the chest again, and then coming up to seated. Press down into the mat, and this time I'll face you. Lift your hips and move forward. Sitting tall, opening up that hip. Holding here for another breath. And then press down, lift your hips up and back, and release the leg down. So let's come into all fours, hands and knees right here. So fingers or wrists underneath shoulders, knees underneath the hips, round the back, and open the chest. Tiger's pose. Exhale, knee comes in. Inhale, knee lifts up, but the foot is drawing toward the head. Exhale, round. Inhale, open. Being sure to move the spine here. Exhale, round. Inhale, lifting up, 2 more. Feel the stretch as you lift the leg up in the front side of the body, and then draw the navel in toward the spine. And 1 more cycle. And release that leg down, second side. Inhale, lift the right knee up and pull the foot toward the head. Exhale, round the spine, knee in toward nose. Inhale, opening up. Exhale, round the spine. Inhale. Exhale, in. 2 more cycles like that. Noticing again the strength of the back body as you lift the leg. And 1 more here. And then lower the knee down. Doing a spinal twist here. So bring the left hand just lightly to the back of the head. Inhale, open up the chest, lift the elbow up. Exhale, draw the left elbow to the right forearm. So inhale, lift. Exhale, close it off. Inhale, opening up. Trying to find a steadiness in the knees. Couple more. And 1 more here. And second side. Place the left hand down, extend the right arm. Fingertips come lightly behind the head. Inhale, twist open. Exhale, bring the elbow to opposite forearm. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, coming together. Few more like this, drawing the ribs in. Making sure you're steady and not wobbling around too much. 2 more. Last one here. I love spinal rotations. I also like hip joint rotation, so we'll do that now. So coming back to all fours, making sure the ribs are in. Your spine is nice and neutral. Lift the left knee and draw the left knee in toward the left forearm, and then bring the knee up to the side. Lift the leg back, so now the knee is kind of pointing down, but the foot is lifted, and then circling back in, round the spine. And then same thing, up to the side, lift the knee, lower down, draw everything in. Inhale, neutral spine as you bring the leg around. Exhale in. 2 more, inhale, lift. Trying to find that steadiness again in the core, and 1 more. And lower that knee down. Second side. Right knee draws in toward right forearm. Knee comes up to the side, lift the knee back, top of the thigh facing down as the foot draws in, and then come back to center. Round the spine, and then spine neutral as you lift the leg, bring it back. Exhale in. Inhale up to the side, a big circle with the knee. 2 more. And last one here. I don't know why, I just love those. Okay, coming into downward facing dog. Step the hands forward. We'll get moving. Head hangs. Soft bend in the knee if your hamstrings are tight. Pedal the heels, so lower the right heel down, press it down as you bend the left knee, and then switch sides. Bend the left knee down, right knee bends, and switch. Right heel down, switch, and switch, and then pressing both heels down, come to toes, and lower the heels. Lift up to toes, lift the hips up higher, and lower down. 1 more, coming up, lowering down, and walk your feet forward. Inhale, halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana, exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to stand. Utkatasana, fierce pose. Slide the fingers down, bend the knees, and lower the hips, ribs drawing in. So holding here for a breath, and exhale, forward fold. 2 more like that. Coming into fierce pose. It's almost like you're sitting in a chair. Lower the hips, reach, and then exhale, fold. And 1 more. Bend the knees, lift the arms up, lift the chest, tailbone long, come to stand. Okay, let's do our vinyasa sun salutations. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, bend the knees, Utkatasana, and then forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, bend the knees and step into high plank. Lower all the way down, Chaturanga. Elbows hugging in. Uncurl the toes, Bhujangasana, low cobra. Lift the chest. Exhale, coming back into down dog. And right leg steps forward. Left foot comes down at an angle, warrior 1. Inhale, lift. Trying to square off the hips. Exhale to high plank. Lower Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, up dog. Lift the chest. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Left leg steps forward. Right foot down at an angle. Lift the chest. Draw the ribs in here. And exhale to high plank. Lower Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, hold and down dog. Hold here. Catching your breath for a moment. And noticing your body. Move the fingers away, spread the fingers. Press the heels down for 1 more breath. Bend your knees, look forward and step, step. Forward, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose or fierce pose. And rise to stand. 1 more cycle just like that. Inhale, this time sweep the fingers down. Utkatasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway up. Exhale, bend the knees. Place the hands down, jump or step, Chaturanga. All the way down. This time, Bhujangasana, you can lift up a little higher, point the toes. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Right leg forward, left foot down. Inhale, lift, bend the front knee. Exhale, high plank. Chaturanga from here. You can always go straight into down dog. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, downward dog. And step the left leg forward. Place the right foot down. Inhale, lift and rise. Exhale, high plank. Lower down. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. And hold 3 rounds of breath. Building some heat here for our practice. Allowing ourselves to have moments of rest so we can stop to reflect. One more inhale, exhale. Bend your knees, look forward and jump or step, step. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Fierce pose, inhale, lift. And coming up to stand, draw the palms to heart center. We'll start off with a standing balance. So grounding down through the left foot, cross the right foot over the left knee, and finding a number 4 stretch here. Bending at the hips. It's like a single leg chair. Lift the chest, draw the ribs in. Holding here for another breath. Lower the foot down, come to toes. From here, bring the hands forward, lift the heels, and lower the heels down in second side. So grounding down through the right foot, cross the left foot over right, bending at the hips. Lift the chest, reach the arms. You can flex that foot, holding here for a breath, and rise to stand. Staying in that chair pose, come to heels and draw the fingers forward. Making sure the ankles are hugging in, coming down a little more, and rise to stand. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. And exhale, step the right leg back, coming into a high lunge. Inhale, lift and rise here. And then finding a twist. Place the right hand down, lift the chest, reach the left hand up, and lift the right thigh up. Hug the right hip in. Holding here for a breath. And then exhale, coming into a warrior 2. So step the right leg forward, left leg steps back this time, and opening up to warrior 2. Bend the right knee, making sure right knee is over ankle, back leg is straight. Holding here for another breath. Inhale, uplifted warrior. Being light on the fingertips. Stretch and reach here. And then coming through a vinyasa or taking downward facing dog. Inhale. And exhale. Downward facing dog. And hold your down dog. Few more breaths here. And then stepping the right leg forward, high lunge. Inhale, lift. Take your time here. And then exhale. Left hand to the inside of the right foot. Stretch and reach up right hand. Lift the back leg up. Hug the right hip in. Holding here for a breath. And then coming into warrior 2. So hands to the mat. Step the left foot in. Right foot steps back at an angle and spinning open here. So the torso faces the camera or the screen that you're watching, and then gaze is over the left fingertips. And then uplifted warrior. So begin to do a side stretch here. Lift to reach the left fingertips up and overhead. Feeling that stretch in the side of the left body. One more breath. And then taking it through vinyasa. Or straight into downward facing dog. You can always come into low cobra instead of upward facing dog. And take a moment here to breathe. Lift the hips. And feel all the fingers pressing down. The bottom of the hand pressing into the mat. And bend the knees, look forward, and jump or step, step. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise to stand. And palms come to heart center. So coming into tree pose, draw the ground down through the left foot and lift the right heel up. And place the bottom of the foot to the inside of the left leg. Or you can bring the toes down to the mat. Other option would be to grab hold of the right foot, press the foot into the inner thigh of the left leg, and then sweep the arms up, draw the ribs in, hug the left hip in, exhale, hands come down. A few more like that. Inhale, lift and reach. Exhale, taking your time. And one more. Inhale, lift, sweep the arms, draw everything center. And exhale, palms come to the heart. Leave the leg where it is for a moment, and then spin the knee forward, and then catch hold of the front of the right knee. So you're intertwining the fingers. Make sure the knee is in front of the hip, and you're not crossing over. Straighten the left leg, and lift the chest. Holding here for another breath. And then slowly lower that leg down. So we'll repeat that on this second side if you need to shake the legs out. And now we'll repeat. So spin the left knee out to the left. Bring the bottom of the foot to the inside of the leg. Any height will do. Palms draw together. Immediately as you do that, connect to the right glute, hug it in, and then draw the ribs in, draw the navel in, and lift the chest up. And from here, inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, lower the hands down. Making sure you're connecting to that right leg. Breathing again. Focus on something not moving. Steady gaze helps. And one more. Inhale, lift and reach. Exhale, leave the leg where it is. And then spin the left knee forward, catching hold of the front of the left shin. Holding here. Lift the chest, knees in front of thigh. For one more breath. And then slowly release that leg. Come to the top of the mat, lift the arms up, and we'll fold again. Push the hips back, long in the spine. Inhale, halfway up. And this time just coming into downward facing dog. From down dog, step the right fingertips forward a little bit, coming into a strange plank again. Roll to the outer edge of the right foot. So option here to stack the feet or leave the left leg crossed over, just like so. So be sure the wrist is ahead of the shoulder and the wrist and ankles are in a line. Lift the hips, lift the chest, tipping the top of the hips forward, and gaze can come up. Holding here for another breath, and then cross that leg over in whatever position you're in and find a nice chest opening here. So bring and sweep the left hand back behind you. Open the chest up toward the ceiling or sky. One more breath here. And then hand comes back. Release the leg coming into downward facing dog. Second side. Step the left fingertips forward just a little bit, coming into a modified plank of sorts, and then spin to the outer edge of the left foot. Same options, stacking the feet or crossing the leg over. Making sure the wrist is in front of the shoulder and the ankles are in line with the wrist. Lift the arm. Lift the chest. Tilt the top of the hip forward. Really pressing in, so you're using a lot of that upper body strength. Holding here. And then cross that right leg over. And begin to open up the right arm back behind you. Nice chest opening here. Take a full breath in and out. One more breath. And then bring the hand back up to center. Bring the leg back and stepping into down dog. Hand comes down, lifting the hips up and stepping forward. Ardha Uttanasana, halfway up. Inhale to forward fold and rising up to stand. Hands come to heart center. So Parsvottanasana from here. Intense forward fold, taking our blocks and just getting the back of the thigh to open up a little bit more as we take a moment's pause. So I really like this pose. It does a lot of work. It challenges your balance. So step the right leg back. And again, aligning the hips. So pull the left hip back. The right hip wraps forward here. And both toes, the left toes are pointing forward. The right toes are pointing forward, but at an angle. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, fold as you pull the chest forward and bring your hands to the blocks here. You can come down on height or just release the blocks. Come to fingertips. Let the head hang. It's funny, when I do this pose, quite often, I imagine all of the thoughts in my mind, all the worries, just to kind of fall out. It's like all those worry thoughts, all the constant chatter in my mind, it's like it falls out here. I don't know why. I always think of that in this pose. 2 more breaths. Last one, full inhale. Exhale. Coming back up to stand, so arms by the ears, long spine, and step forward, second side. Step the left leg back, hold the right hip back, and then exhale, reach forward as you fold in. So stability coming from the legs. Front leg is nice and straight without locking the knee, and you're pressing the back heel down. The head hangs, ground down through the front big toe. Just settle in for a few breaths. See if you can pull the sternum a little bit further forward. One more breath here. And rise to stand, arms by ears. Inhale, lift up, and stepping forward. So we have one more sequence to do, and then we'll take it down to the mat. So maintaining a little bit more heat and balance focus, and then we'll continue on from the ground here. So finding Warrior 3, which is a bit of a balance challenge, but we'll do it together. And feel free in your Warrior 3 to leave your blocks on your mat. So from here, we're just going straight into it. Ground down through the right foot. We'll start with the left leg. So the left leg begins to sweep back, and as you do, notice if the left leg or the left hip wants to open up. Make sure the hip points are pointing down toward the ground. So have a soft bend in the right leg and lift the back leg up, and then be very active in the back leg. So push the heel back, draw the navel in. That will protect your lower back. So a lot of drawing in here, and then very active in the back leg. Then release the arms forward, or you can have airplane arms out to the side or hands to hips, whatever works for you. Holding here for another breath, moving into eagle pose. So slowly, leg sweeps forward, cross left leg over right, squeeze the inner thighs together, and then you can hook that foot behind the leg. Arms reach forward here, and crossing right over left. Finding eagle arms. Hands can also go to shoulders here. So holding here for another breath, ribs drawing in, lift the chest. And then slowly coming into Malasana. So release the leg and coming into a bit of a squat here. You can always have a blanket under the heels for Malasana. Lower the hips down, arms come to the inside of the legs. Lift the chest. And hold Malasana for breath. Coming into our crow pose, placing the hands down Lift the hips up, shift your weight forward, and then squeeze the knees into the arms. Lift one foot up, and then if the other leg comes up, great. If not, no biggie. Hold for another breath, and then slowly releasing back into Malasana for a breath. I'm moving my blanket out of the way, and we'll come into boat pose Navasana. So come to a seated position very carefully and lift the legs up. You can have a bend in the knees or straighten the legs. Holding here for another breath. Reach the arms, reach the chest, and then cross the legs, coming into down dog. One more breath. And then stepping forward, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. And rise to stand here. Look up, reach up. Second side. So warrior 3, grounding down through the left foot. Sweep the right leg back. Soft bend in the left knee for now. Pull the chest forward here. Reach the leg back. Ribs, navel drawing in, hugging into the spine, and wrapping the right hip down. Again, very active in that right leg. Arms can reach forward here. Holding here for another breath. Reach and reach. And then slowly come back up to stand. And as you do, sweep the right leg over the left, hooking the foot if it works, or leaving the leg out. Arms reach forward, crossing left over right, intertwining forearms, lift the elbows, and lower the hips. Draw the ribs in here. And hold. One more breath. And slowly release, coming into Malasana. So lower the hips down. You can separate the feet any width here. Lift the chest. Finding Bakasana, crow pose. I like to bring my heels together and lift my hips up, hugging my knees to the outside of my arms. Gaze is forward and ahead. Lift one foot, lift the other. Draw the navel in, gaze is ahead on the ground. And slowly lower down. Coming into our boat pose, Navasana. Carefully bring the hands back, lift the chest here, and lift the legs up. Look up, reach up. Holding again for one breath. And then rocking forward, and this time we'll take a vinyasa. So stepping forward or shooting the legs back. Lowering down. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And hold. Stretch the hips. Okay, we'll do a few back bends from here. So we'll lie down on our stomachs. If you have lower back issues, I caution you against some of these, just not going super deep into the postures, getting the muscular engagement, but not overdoing it with the lower back. So just check in with your body if you have lower back issues. I'm especially sensitive to that, so just wanted to caution you. So lying all the way down, we'll start with locust pose. Uncurl the toes. Release the hands back. And I'll turn my head here so you can see me, but feel free to have your forehead to the mat. As you do, lift the right leg up, hold it back in space, and lower that right leg down. Second side. Lift the left leg up, pull it back in space, lower it down. Just the legs here. Lift both legs up. Imagine you're pulling them back and then lower them down. Now we'll take in everything. Upper body, lower body. So legs stay straight. Lift the thighs up, lift the knees up, lift the arms up, lift the chest. Inner thighs spinning toward one another. And you don't have to crank the neck back. Draw the navel in, lift the chest, lift the legs. Holding again for another breath here. And then lowering down. And then rest your head to your hands for a moment. And we'll repeat that. So extending the legs back. This time arms reach out, and we'll do a pull with our arms here as we lift up. So inhale, lift up, reach the arms, and then pull the elbows back and hold. Lift the chest. See if you can lift the arms a little bit higher. Draw the legs in toward one another as the inner thighs spin up, and then lower everything down. And take a rest. You can draw your head to the other side if that works. Back bending is so good for our health, and it's very underrated sometimes. So this pose in particular is very good for strengthening your back. So we'll repeat it one more time here. Same thing again. Reach the arms, lift the legs, lift the upper chest, and then pull the elbows back. Begin to pulse a little bit, lift the arms up and down, up, tuck the chin down. 3 more, and 2 more, and last one here. And release for a moment. Take a breath, press into the mat, lift up to the knees, gently do a spinal cat-cow or Marjorie pose. And then step the left leg forward, Anjaneyasana, low lunge for a moment. From here, bring your left hand to your thigh, or your left forearm to your thigh, and then bend the right leg, catch hold of the foot, and begin to pull the right foot in toward the glute. You can also take your strap and pull the foot in. And from here, I like to really stabilize with this hand to thigh. Turn the chest forward. Draw the navel in and pull the knee toward the glute. Pull the foot toward the glute. And then inhale, push the leg back, almost like you're rocking yourself back. And then exhale, pull the leg forward. Do that again. Kick the leg back. You see that? All the way back. And then draw the foot in. 2 more. Hopefully you don't kick that hard. Kick back and forward. And 1 more here. And forward. Great. And then just come to knees for a moment. And we'll switch to the other side. So I'll spin around so you can see here. Step the right leg forward, coming into that low lunge Anjaneyasana. And then bend the left leg and catch hold of the foot. And then I like to wrap my foot to the inside, but you're more than welcome to bring your hand to the outside of the foot here. Draw the ribs in and turn the chest here. And then as you do, draw the foot in for a moment. So you're using your arm strength here. And then kick the foot back. Do that again. Arm strength here. It's also shift and balance. Kick the leg back. 3 more. Pull it in. Kick it back. 2 more. And last one here. Pull it in. And then kick it back. And release. All right, lying on our stomachs again. We'll take Dhanurasana, bow pose. So if Dhanurasana doesn't work for you today, I encourage you to go back to that locust pose, Shalabhasana, with the straight arms and the straight legs. Bend the knees, catch hold of the top of the foot, and then the other foot. And then roll the shoulders back. Make sure the legs are not splaying out too far, and then draw the navel in and lift the chest here. So we'll practice kicking into our legs. Kick the legs back, and as you do, lift the thighs up and lift the chest. Kick the legs back and lift. Kick and lift and hold. Shifting the weight back onto the pelvis a little bit more. Hold for another breath. And then lowering down, release, and rest for a moment. It's a big pose, so take your time with it. We'll get into it one more time here. So bend the knees, catch hold of the front of the foot, and take a rest here for a moment. Full inhale. On the exhale, lower the pelvis down, kick the legs back, and lift the thighs. Kick and lift. Long in the neck, release and open the chest. Holding here. 3 more breaths. One more. And release everything down. Good work. Take a moment to breathe. Gently press yourself up. Coming to lying on your back here. So slowly roll over. And then come to lying on your back. Taking your time. And then just taking a moment here. Lift the tailbone. Back of the lower back is flat. And then arch. And then tailbone lifts. Almost like you're about to do bridge pose. But you don't lift off. And then arch the lower back. 2 more like that. And 1 more. And then bring the legs to one side, stack them, and release them to the ground. Draw the knees in a little bit closer to the face. And then bring the legs back to center. And second side. Gaze over opposite shoulder. And then come back to center. Happy baby pose. So grabbing the outsides of the foot, bringing the ankle over the knee. Begin to draw the legs down with the strength of the arms. So the knees come more or less outside of the torso. Be long in the back here. Trying to leave the ankle over the knee, but we're all different. We're all built differently. So wherever your body lands in this pose and feels good, stick with that. You don't have to force anything. Begin to check in again with what's happening with you. We just spent a good amount of time moving here. And that movement allowed us to really tune into ourselves, into the present moment. So again, just settling back into the breath here after all of that work, all of that energy. And then slowly release the legs down. We'll take our straps here and place it to just underneath the toes of the left foot. I like to have my hands on either side of the strap, and then bring the shoulders away from the ears. Relax the jaw, straighten the right leg, or you can have the knee bent, and then act as if you're standing on that right leg. So pull the toes towards you and have the ankle underneath the hip. And then press into the strap with the left foot and draw the leg in a little bit more. And you just go to that point of mild tension in a stretch. So you don't want to overstretch here. Just allowing, again, the body to relax. And then taking the strap into the left hand, bring the left leg out to the left. And you can counter with your right arm, counterbalance coming out to the right. Press the right hip down as you extend the left leg. The left leg is coming up toward the ear, but also down in space. So it's traveling in 2 directions here. And hold, just breathe. Opening up the inner thigh. Press the right thigh down and then bend the left knee just a little bit and bring it up and over. So take the strap into the right hand and find a twist. I often slide my hips to the left a little bit so I have that room to really extend here. So straighten the right leg, press into the strap with the left foot here. And you should feel a nice stretch somewhere in the left leg. Opening up as you twist. One more breath. And bend the knee slightly. Bring the leg back to center and switch to the other side. So taking the strap now, placing it to just below the toes of the right foot. And extend the left leg out as if you're standing on it. Again, the left foot can be flat and the left knee can be bent. That's your option here. So begin to pull the leg just gently toward the face, but as you do, draw the right hip away from the ear and make sure there's some space in the shoulders so the shoulders aren't crunching up here. And continue to draw the leg in and press into the strap. Should feel a nice release in the back of the leg. And then place the strap to the right hand and then slowly open up toward the right with the leg, pressing the left hip down and then using that left arm as a counterbalance. You can also place the right elbow down like a kickstand to help you out here. And then draw the right foot up toward the right ear, I should say, and just open. Just enjoy this. And one more. Inhale, exhale. Bend the knee, come back center, and we'll take our twist. So strap to the left hand. Feel free to scooch the hips to the right a little bit and cross the right leg up and over. The left pinky toes can come down to the mat. I've lost my strap here. There it is. And then find a twist. So the shoulders open up, the chest opens up, reaching over, reaching the hand over to the right as you cross the left leg over to the left. And hold the stretch. Feeling an openness in the right leg. And bringing that leg back to center. Release the strap here. So if you have a block, go ahead and grab the block and place it on whatever height works for the length of your back. So placing the block underneath your sacrum, or if you just have a thick book, you can go ahead and grab that thick book. Make sure you feel pretty stable though, and that this block is not directly on the tailbone, nor is it on the lumbar spine. So it's in that kind of triangle-like section of your spine. And open up the chest, and if you have more room, feel free to come up to a higher height if that works for you. So again, making sure you feel pretty stable though as you do this. So as you do, we're coming into an inversion here. So if you're not inverting right now or just don't feel like that should be part of your practice, go ahead and stay right here. Otherwise, you can draw one knee in toward the chest and then the other knee in and just see how you feel. See if you need to adjust that block. And then use your hands here for stability. Release the legs up and then gaze toward your toes. So wherever you are, if your feet are on the ground or if your legs are uplifted, soften your gaze here. And just taking a moment to release and not over concentrate, but just kind of find that state of just being yourself, just being. Legs together, gaze toward feet. We'll stay here for about a minute. One more inhale and exhale. Slowly bend one knee, bend the other knee, and then bring them down. You can bring them down one at a time or together. Find supported bridge pose again. And then for all of us, we'll press our feet down, lift our hips and remove the block or remove the book or whatever was supporting your hips here. So from here, we'll take Shavasana and we'll do supine bound angle with a strap or without a strap, your choice. So we'll come up to sitting. And if you have a strap, and it's a D-ring like mine, you'll start to weave through that D-ring. So you take your strap, the end of the strap, and bring it through both of the rings. And then you'll take the end of the strap, see how it's through both here, and you'll weave it back just over that first ring and then under the second D-ring. And then you should have a nice strap that you can adjust here. So from here, you can take a blanket if you'd like. I'm going to use that. And use it for support. It can be for your head or whatever it feels good for you. And you'll wrap that strap around the hips. And then you'll take it, bring the bottom of the feet together. I was trying to figure out what was wrong here. Bottoms of the feet together, knees are wide. And then you'll take the strap and just place it over the sides of the feet. So they're up here like this, if you can see that. And then bring the strap pretty low on the back. You kind of want it to help bring the tailbone down. And then from here, just make sure the D-ring is not on your skin or on your legs or anything like that. It doesn't feel good. And I like to have my D-ring on my right side, so I can just pull that strap and it kind of brings my legs in, brings my feet in a little bit. And then I'll lift and kind of scoop up my tailbone and then find myself lying down here. So making sure my blanket is where it needs to be. And then it is a nice sort of adjustment here. So continue if you have more space to draw that strap in, and it'll help to open up the inner thighs, and you'll find just a nice relaxed state here. So this is one particular pose you can try for Shavasana. If this doesn't feel good for you, feel free to release the strap and just do traditional Shavasana where your legs are extended out and you're lying down just flat on the ground. So from here, we'll take Shavasana and I'll guide us through. Go ahead and gently close the eyes. And if you need to make any final adjustments, go ahead and do so now. Otherwise, join me here in a relaxed state lying on the mat. Take a few rounds of breath here, finding a brief pause between your inhale and your exhale. So inhale here. Just gently pause for a moment, retaining the breath, and then exhale. And doing that again. Inhale here. A nice brief pause, and then exhale. One more. Inhale and pause, and then exhale all the breath out. And just release. Start to relax the shoulders into the mat. Noticing the right shoulder, noticing the left shoulder, just releasing them down. Feeling supported by the ground underneath you. Slowing the breath down. And noticing the breath at navel center for a few rounds of breath. Observing the steadiness of breath in the abdomen. And I'll go silent here for a moment or two. And go ahead and just relax and release into Shavasana. You don't have to do anything at this point or be anywhere. You're just simply relaxing and releasing. And then after a few moments, I'll call you back from Shavasana. So just rest, being quiet and still. And very slowly bring yourself back to this present moment. Take a fuller inhale, a long exhale, and start to move your fingers and toes, and gently rock your head. If you have the D-ring strap on you, go ahead and grab the strap here and use that strap to help bring you up. And then gently press yourself up to a seated position. Loosen the strap. And then release the strap from the feet and cross the legs. Bringing the palms together at the heart. And gently reclose the eyes again. And take another few rounds of breath here. So all this energy that you've generated, all the things that have become aware to you, just bringing that, putting it back into yourself. All that energy, just bringing it into yourself here. And then as we leave practice today, taking that energy, that awareness, perhaps some clarity, bringing that out into the world around us. Observing what is right now, and then working with that, and letting go of the rest. So bow the head toward the heart, rub your palms together, warming up the palms, and place them over the eyes. And open your eyes gently into your palms, and move your hands away from your face. Thank you so much. I appreciate you coming today, practicing with me. I really hope to see you again soon. Thanks.